Hi Financial users. In today's video, we'll walk you through a step-by-step guide on how to send a consolidated LHDN e-invoice using Financial. First, let's recap what a consolidated e-invoice is. This type of invoice is created by suppliers when the buyer doesn't require an e-invoice at the time of the transaction. Instead, suppliers provide standard receipts, bills, or invoices, which they later combine into a single consolidated e-invoice. Now, let's dive into financial accounting. The first thing you need to do is make sure you're connected with LHDN. Head to your control panel, click on Integrated Apps, and scroll down until you find LHDN e-invoice. Make sure you're connected. In this example, we're already connected, so you'll see the green label marked Connected. Next, go to Settings. Verify that all mandatory details are accurate, such as your company name, business registration number, and TIN number. Once everything is confirmed, simply close the tab. After that, it's important to double-check your business profile as well. Go back to the control panel, click on Company, and then select Business Profile. Ensure that all the information here is correct, such as your name, email, TIN number, MSIC code, and so on. If you make any amendments, remember to click Save. The next step is to manage your contacts. Click on Contact, then select Contact List. You can search for the contact information you wish to review by typing in the company name. In this example, we'll use Century Software. Click View to see the contact details. Make sure all mandatory fields required by the LHDN e-invoice are filled out correctly. If any amendments are needed, remember to save your changes. Once all the information is checked, you can create your consolidated LHDN e-invoice. Go to the Sales tab and select Create New Invoice. Fill in the invoice details, starting with the customer name. In this example, we'll use Century Software. Once you select the customer, their details, such as address, will automatically populate. Next, set the date to 1st November. Make sure the toggles for recurring invoice and send to LHDN are off, as you don't need to send this single invoice to LHDN at this moment. Next, fill in your item details. Select the item, name it, and set the quantity and unit price. Choose the tax type. For example, service tax. You must also enter a description to proceed to the next step. After that, click Save. Review your invoice details, and if everything looks good, click Save again. You will then see a pop-up message confirming that your sales invoice was successfully created. To check the invoice you created, go to the Sales list under the Sales panel. You'll see that the invoice we just created is already in the list. Now that your invoice is ready, it's time to compile all invoices into a consolidated LHDN e-invoice. Go to the Sales panel again, select Create New, then choose Consolidated e-invoice. Fill in the required information, such as the registration number, contact number, SST registration ID, buyer address, and so on. After that, click Add New. You can filter by month to display all invoices for that month, then select the invoices to consolidate. But in this case, I've created just one invoice, so I'll tick that invoice and click the Consolidate button. Click the Save button again if everything looks good. A pop-up message will appear, confirming that your consolidated e-invoice was successfully created. You can always check your invoice under the Sales panel. Click on Consolidated e-invoice list, and you'll see the consolidated e-invoice you just created in the list, and the LHDN status shown submitted. Click View to see the details of your invoice. Now, click on the e-invoice button. A QR code will appear. Scan the QR code to view the details of your LHDN e-invoice. You can also click the three dots here to download a PDF version of your e-invoice. Finally, you can check the status of your LHDN consolidated e-invoice in your My Invoice portal. Log into your My Invoice portal and go to Documents. You'll see your invoice listed there. Click on it, and you'll see that it's a valid consolidated e-invoice. You can scroll through and check the details as well. In summary, issuing a consolidated e-invoice follows a similar process to that of a standard e-invoice. The key difference is that the validated e-invoice serves as the supplier's proof of income and doesn't need to be shared with the buyer. That's all for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.